Hi, I'm Mark Ronson. Hey, how you doing? I'm a musician and a producer and a DJ. I'm here at TED, where I had the honor of actually speaking last year about the past 30 years of music, and I talked about sampling and digital samplers and Biggie and Miley Cyrus and just lots of stuff. So, I mean, that's about it. That's my life.
How has music influenced your life?
I guess I don't really remember anything really before music. You know, as a kid, I remember wanting to play drums when I was 2 or 3, and I guess my whole life I can kind of plot it by like what music I liked or what I was doing or what instrument I was playing or was I DJing. So I think it's kind of, it sounds really sad, but I think it is my life. Like, I don't know, that's all I got. Music and my dog and my family, my wife.
What made you decide to do TED Talks?
Pretty much just because they asked. It was terrifying, but then afterwards I would kind of see people on the street or meet people, kids who were in music school, who would tell me that they'd seen it and it showed them something interesting or inspired them to, you know, kind of either study a bit more about it or whatever, and that was kind of the best thing about it, for sure.
How do you put your own spin on the songs that are sampled?
The thing about hearing samples and stuff that you like, that unless you can really put something on it that is your own or that really is worthy, I think, of like, you know, combining your art with this great piece of classic music, I feel like that's the only good reason to do it. So sometimes if I have a sample of something I really love and I'm trying things out and ideas on it and it's not great, or I don't think it's like sort of worthy of being, you know, married to that piece of music, I'll just kind of scratch it.
What made you do a song with Bruno Mars?
He smells great. No. Well, actually, I worked with Bruno for the first time on his second album, and I co-produced the song Locked Out of Heaven, and I was working on my own new album, and I really like him. He's so talented. He's a great musician. He's a great songwriter. He's a great singer. So we just got together in his studio and just kind of thought that we'd just throw a few ideas around and started jamming, and that's how Uptown Funk really came about.
What do you think of Australian artists?
My favorite band in the world is this Australian rock band called Tame Impala. Do you guys know Tame Impala at all? They're from Perth. I did quite a few songs with them, and I've toured and played a lot of shows in Australia, so I met some really great Australian bands, and I feel like right now a lot of the most exciting music is sort of coming out of Australia.
Did you use any sampling when you produced Uptown Funk?
No, actually Uptown Funk doesn't have any samples in it. A lot of my earlier music, because I was really influenced by sort of like a lot of 1990s hip-hop where it was all sampled, and groups like Wu-Tang, I don't know if you heard of them, but all the stuff that I did was very sample heavy. And then I think, you know, over the past few records and maybe becoming a little bit of a better musician and things, I've had more live musician, but I still love sampled music and stuff like that, but just where my process has gone is a bit more kind of live and using musicians and things like that.
Where do you get your inspiration from when you write a song?
Most of my inspiration, and I know it's different for everybody, but most of my inspiration comes from the other people that I'm working with or collaborating in the room. And there's just, you know, I wish I was walking down the street and like some incredible whole song popped into my head like a bolt of lightning and I had to run to the piano and figure it out. But I'm not John Lennon or Stevie Wonder, so my process doesn't work so much like that. But I love being in a room with other musicians and other people that I respect. It could just be one person or 2 people or 3 people, and you start to get something and everybody gets that feeling and the kind of hairs stick up on your arm and you start to feel like there's a chemistry and, you know, you're all locked into this thing, and that's usually how I get most of my inspiration.
What was it like winning the 2008 Grammy Award?
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. It was really something that I never thought ever, like starting off as a hip-hop DJ in clubs in New York, that was even anything that was remotely like a possibility for me.
What do you like most about DJing?
I really love the feeling of when you're playing music and you can feel the crowd, and you're almost like you're building this excitement and just taking the crowd and the energy. And whenever I think of DJing, it's usually like I prefer like small clubs, like 200, 300 people, where you can really feel the energy of everybody, as opposed to, you know, these massive festivals and stuff. I played guitar in a band in high school when I was 15 or 16, and I probably had like a bit of this dream of being like a rock star and joining a band. Or, you know, when I started to produce my first records when I was like 22, I thought, like, you know, the first ones would be a massive hit, and none of that stuff really panned out. And I didn't really have my first success till I was 30 or 31, and there was a lot of times I felt like either packing it in, or you see other people that you start off at around the same time and they just get, you know, massively successful, and you're just thinking like, man, am I just completely barking up the wrong tree here? But when you have something that you love to do that much, there's never a question of maybe doing something else. You're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I wouldn't even know how to do something else. And you just kind of keep going with that. Bye, everyone. See ya. Good luck. Nice talking to you.